Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina and I am here to talk about mental wellness. That is going to be the majority of the videos that you'll probably see on my channel. I can't say that that will be like that forever. That is definitely my intention, but I definitely want to mix it up. I definitely want it to be fun. I don't want, I traditionally have made videos about like very educational focus kind of thing where I'm just like laying out like, let me just talk to you for like 20 minutes where you're just going to see my face. And I really, I found that that's probably pretty boring. If people are out there searching for content to really help them with their mental wellness, to be able to go from day to day, like being able to manage the struggles that they're experiencing for, borderline personality disorder, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, all of those things. You don't want to just sit around and watch some dry video, so I thought that it'd be really fun to create just some fun, upbeat videos on how to better your life every single day, how to be able to navigate through your struggles every single day by still enjoying your life, by still really like being able to live it to the fullest and not to let yourself get too down about everything that you're going through. You can definitely be dealing with anxiety and depression on a daily basis, but be able to push through it, be able to, I want to be able to give you some tips and ideas on how to be able to lessen those stressors in your life. And so that is definitely, that's like going to be the basis of what I'm here for. But I want to make it fun. I don't want to make it boring, because it's just, a lot of the videos I see online, they're kind of boring. So I'm hoping, and I would appreciate your feedback here in the comments, if my videos are fun, or if you find them you find them engaging, or if they're actually helpful. And if they're not, then please give me some feedback so that I can make them the best that they can be, because I've been waiting so many years to put this all together. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Today we're going to talk about how to have a healthy mindset, and I have 10 steps for you, or 10 tips rather, that might be helpful for how you can create a healthy mindset every single day. And so I hope that some of these help you, and maybe if you have any more tips, I would appreciate you putting them in the comments. But let's go ahead and jump into the first tip. The first tip is to start your day with a plan. And so I encourage you to take the time to either plan out your day either the night before you go to bed, or right when you wake up. I prefer to do it like right after I get up. I like to get up in the morning and go to my desk, especially now during quarantine where I have to work from home, which I totally enjoy. No complaints here. But I will go to my desk and I will sit down with my planner and I will kind of just do like a soft outline of what is expected of me today. So whether that has to do with work or any sort of like side projects, hustles that I'm doing, any personal appointments for my family, other things that I need to do, I will go ahead and jot those down. And if you don't know everything that's happening in your entire day, that's totally fine. You don't have to worry about making sure everything is in that list, whether you do it the night before or you do it when you wake up in the morning. It's really just a soft outline. It just kind of creates like a timeline for you to go through the day, and you're welcome to add things in or take things out. It just depends. It's not anything cut and dry. Like, you don't have to abide by that. It's just really to help you to stay focused and keep yourself accountable for the things that you actually have to do. The next tip is to start journaling. So for me personally, I don't really vibe with journaling. I've definitely tried it, and I know it's really weird for me to give a tip that doesn't work for me, but I think that's actually the beauty in it. Like, different things are going to work for different people. So I would say that if you haven't given journaling a try it for like a week or two and spend like at least 15 minutes every single day, writing down in a notebook, or maybe on the notes app in your phone, or doing voice notes, or whatever way that you prefer to do it. Create like a journal where you talk about things that you're grateful for, things that are really heavy on your heart, things you have anxiety and worries over, or any sort of like random thoughts and mindsets that come into your mind that you just want to kind of like do like a mind dump onto that paper per se. And spend time doing that so that you can just kind of like set out all your thoughts and walk away. And like I said, I totally understand if journaling doesn't work for you, because it totally does not work for me. I will sometimes, journal down in my planner, because there's like a blank space in my planner. I'll kind of like write down like thoughts that come to mind or things that I'm worried about, and I just kind of get it out of my head so I don't continuously worry about it all day, maybe just part of the day, because I definitely struggle from anxiety. But I would encourage you to give it a try. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. Spend at least 15 minutes doing it and see where it gets you. The next tip is exercise, and I'm pretty sure that you already knew that I was going to mention exercise because every single person always mentions exercise for having a healthy lifestyle, having a healthy mindset, like whatever it is. But truly, I believe that exercise is one of the best ways to actually keep your body healthy and to give you a sense of accomplishment, because if you actually get through a workout, despite how hard it is and despite like any sort of setbacks you may have had in your workout, it's still such a grand accomplishment that you feel good about yourself. You feel that pride like well up in you, and so I think it's such a positive thing for you to interact in. It doesn't have to be like anything intense like weightlifting, even though I love weightlifting and I can't wait till the gym opens again, but weightlifting or like being a marathon runner or anything like that. Like if you're just like going for daily walks, if you're maybe using light weights at home, just body weight workouts, like whatever it is, or if you are just jogging around and you're not really setting any pace for yourself, like you're just out doing something to get your body moving, it's such an accomplishment. You're actually keeping your body healthy, and you know, I feel like exercise puts you in a different zone for your mind, and you're kind of able to just like, you know, cut other things out that kind of just like weigh heavy on you that you typically would worry about. So it just kind of gives your mind a break to think about something else, which I feel like is definitely really beneficial. The next tip is to make sure that you are practicing gratitude. And I know that I already mentioned this in regards to journaling, but you can also do it outside of that. So for me personally, I told you that I don't journal, so I will actually write my little short gratitude list in my planner every single day, and it's usually like 4 different things that I feel grateful for. And I feel like you can be grateful for anything in your entire life. It doesn't have to be really big things like you're grateful that you're alive today, you know, you're grateful that you have food on the table or that you have a job. Like all those things are great. Like, let me tell you, all those things are absolutely great. You definitely should be grateful for them. But I want to remind you that you can be grateful for anything. You can be grateful that you were able to buy that new t-shirt at Target yesterday. You can be grateful for the fact that you were able to have a cell phone, so you were able to, like, you know, be on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. You can be grateful for the fact that you have a dog and you love spending time with him. I know I love spending time with my dog. It is like one of the best things, one of my favorite things. And so you can be grateful for anything. It could be big, small, middle, whatever it is. Just make sure that you are grateful. And I feel like beyond just creating lists for gratitude or like, you know, during like quiet times or prayer times where you express your gratitude, I think it's also really helpful to express gratitude to those in your life. So, you know, like talk to your parents and tell them how grateful you are for how they raised you or how they're supporting you now or just their love in general. Do the same for your partner, for your children. I tell my kid all the time how I'm so grateful for her. I love her so much. I appreciate her, you know, helping me learn new things in life by raising her. So, you know, you can express gratitude to those in your life, and that will definitely count as well. So I encourage you to, like, you know, mix it up, try all those different things and see what works best for you, or just do a combo. The next tip is to learn something new. Now, I really feel like learning new things will really, you know, help you step outside your comfort zone. It can also like help you get out of a bad mood, any sort of funk that you're in. You're just like not feeling yourself. You're feeling really stagnant and just in the like just stuck in your life. Why don't you like shake it up a little bit and learn something new? So it can definitely be an activity like learning a language. I know that's a lot to overcome. Like there's a lot there for learning a language. So, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to learn another language, or you want to learn how to like do programming on the computer, or maybe you want to learn how to take pictures and use a camera, or maybe you just want to learn how to use the photo editing app on your phone. Like whatever it is, it's totally fine. So, or if it's fitness, maybe you've always wanted to learn how to weightlift, and that's kind of like where I was like a year and a half ago. I would just decided that it would be fun, and I just like got a guide and I jumped right in. So whatever it is you want to learn how to do, or cook new recipes, that's definitely a good one, especially like if you're still stuck in your house. That's definitely a good one to learn right now. But yeah, just, you know, spend time like learning new things, branching out. It just really kind of shakes things up in your life, and you know, learning new things actually can be that thing that will transition you from one season of your life to another. It'll just help you to like push yourself along and, you know, grow and learn and just continue to developing into that strong person and that awesome person that you were meant to be by trying new things. So The next tip is to practice prayer time, meditation time, quiet time, however it is for you, maybe all three if you practice all three. It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you're doing like prayer time, you're spending time being quiet, listening for God's voice, praying, asking Him questions, you know, or just like not saying anything at all, listening to some worship music in the background, whatever it may be. Meditation, which is not something that I typically do, but I think it's really helpful for a lot of people, is sitting there in quiet, or maybe you're sitting there with music, just taking it in, just letting your mind like wander and go where it may. Like, you know, that's really like releasing your mind to just be free and not continually have to collect new things and just be so overwhelmed. You know, you're just kind of like giving it a break. And the other one is just general quiet time. So if you just want to like sit in your living room, just be still, just be quiet, just take some time to let your mind have a rest from all the worry and anxiety and like super deep thinking that it's doing throughout the whole day. Just kind of giving it a break. You know, you're giving your brain an opportunity to reset and kind of reboot and just be like, okay, here's a break, coming up for air, coming up for breath. So consider taking some sort of prayer, meditation, or quiet time in your day, or I'd say at least once a week. The next step is to stay in the present. Now, you might be thinking, like, that doesn't really sound like a tip. That just sounds like a mind state or whatever. And it kind of is. But, you know, staying in the present can really help you focus on what's happening right now, as opposed to dwelling on the past and worrying too much about mistakes that you may have made, or worrying about things that have happened in the past, like happening again in the present or the future. You know, you don't want to dwell on things because it definitely will just overwork your mind, and you're not problem solving anything. You know, you're just continually turning over the same things in your mind that's just not helpful at all whatsoever. Also, you want to make sure that you are not feeling overwhelmed by thinking of everything that's happening in the past, but also in the future. And you know, the basis of anxiety is just worrying about the unknown and the uncertainty, especially during this time. I understand the uncertainty that we're all experiencing right now, and it really drives me crazy. Like, sometimes it's all too much, and I just want to sit and cry, and I'm just being transparent with you guys. So sometimes it can be so hard, but if you learn to stay in the present and focus on what's happening right in front of you, what's going on around you, as opposed to worrying too much about what's going to happen in the future, or what has already happened and how terrible or bad those experiences were, you can really just like keep yourself calm. You're not going to be so overwhelmed, and you're just going to be able to experience and have gratitude, which is another thing. Staying in the present, by practicing gratitude, you will stay in the present because you're grateful for everything that's happening to you right now, what's currently happening, and you can still be grateful for things that did happen or maybe are gonna happen, but especially if you're into like manifesting things happening in the future. But it's a lot easier on your life and your mind to just stay in the present, focus on what's going on right now, and just let the future happen as it's going to happen, and put the past behind you, because you probably have already taken the time to learn from it, so why are you continuing to dwell on it? It's a waste of time. So the next tip is to identify your goals and journey. So I recently did a whole week's worth of episodes for my podcast talking about how to create SMART goals, and that is specifically the SMART formula for creating goals, and I just love it. So if you want to check the description box, I will leave some information on how to access my podcast, but it's like 5 new episodes every single week, so Monday through Friday, and I talk about one topic for the whole week and break it down, and the episodes are generally not longer than 20 minutes, so you enjoy that. But just to kind of give you an overview, because this week I did talk about creating goals, it's best to just create the best goals by being specific. Make sure your goals are measurable, attainable, actually realistic for you, and to create deadlines and timelines so that you can keep yourself accountable and that your goal is actually accomplished. And so it's so important. I feel like the most important part of that is actually asking yourself if the goal that you have chosen is the right one for you, and is it worth your time, and if you know why you chose it. So if you don't understand the why behind your goal, it's kind of pointless, because you don't have anything driving you, you don't have anything pushing you to continue on with that goal. So I encourage you to take the time to really ask yourself, like, why am I after this goal? What is the point to it? What is it going to add to my life? What will it take away from my life that I will have to sacrifice or just accept that's going to happen. So I encourage you to take the time to really ask yourself those questions. Make sure your goal is actually realistic to you. Can you do it? You know, like, it's really important. And if you've never heard of SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, because it's like an acronym, that's why it's breakdown. I'm sure you already got that. I would encourage you to look it up or go listen to my podcast, because really anywhere you go and look it up, I think it was created, that acronym was created in 1981 by George something. I forget. It'll be in the description box because I definitely want to credit him for that, especially since I've done so much research on it and I think it's such a great formula for creating goals. But yeah, he created that formula for creating goals, and I feel like it's so easy. So if you are confused or overwhelmed with, like, you know what you want to go after, but you don't know how to, like, completely craft your goal plan, definitely look up SMART goals. The next tip, and the second to last tip, is to create time for yourself. You have to take the time to be able to reset and reboot yourself so that you are able to accomplish all the amazing things in your life that you are constantly going after. And if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will, and so you'll just find yourself just broken and falling apart, and you really could avoid that if you actually take the time to take care of yourself and take time for yourself. And I know you may be like, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for that. But if you don't make time, if you're not responsible in taking care of yourself and you don't make the time, then you're going to regret it later. Like, I can promise you that. You'll regret you're not taking time for yourself, you'll burn out of whatever you're doing, and then you might just cut your goals short, and then where are you? You're nowhere. To be honest, you're absolutely nowhere. So you want to make sure that you take time for yourself, evaluate if you're taking on too much, evaluate if you have enough help and assistance in your life, if you are on the right track, and if you need to change up any decisions that you need to make. It's totally fine to change your mind and really reevaluate things in your life at any point. And I encourage you to take some time for yourself at least once a week. But if you could even take 15 minutes every single day, I definitely know that you will see such a positive impact in your life by doing that and just being able to have that time to, you know, process what's going on, take a break, be actually alone, especially if you're a mom and you have like multiple children. It's so hard to be alone. I only have one, so. The last tip that I want to talk to you about is finding professional help. So I want you to know that you should never feel ashamed or embarrassed that you have to find professional help. And maybe you don't want to like go to therapy or counseling, but I encourage you to find like a mentor or a life coach or something like that that can help you, you know, get your mind right, you know, set it up for success, really figure out what needs to happen. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. A lot of people like to think of it as a bad thing because people get caught up in their own pride and wanting to do everything on their own, but that is not the important thing. The most important thing is to make sure that your mind is as healthy as it can be, set up for success so that you're able to go after whatever it is that you're focusing your whole heart and mind on. And if you need help with that, and if you feel like things are just jumbled, or you're feeling overwhelmed with anxiety or depression or wanting to hurt yourself, then I encourage you, go find professional help. You know, find a counselor, go to therapy. Even if you need to bring someone that's really close to you, maybe you can bring a family member or a friend or a partner, and they can come with you for the first couple times if you feel comfortable. It's all about what you feel comfortable with and what will help you best get back on track so that you're able to live your best life to the fullest. So please do not feel embarrassed by that. But that's it. That's all the tips I have. And so I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was actually helpful. And again, please, I encourage you to, you know, put any feedback or comments below. I really would enjoy reading them and responding to them. And if you really like the video, I encourage you to actually like it. And, you know, if you are into these kind of videos, there'll be definitely a lot more coming. I am definitely motivated to just, you know, and determined to just share as many videos as I can and help as many people as I possibly can. So if you want to subscribe, you can do that too. So that's it. I hope that you come back, and I don't even know how to end these. I don't know how to end it, so I'm just gonna say bye, and I'll